Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who. Doctor Who. What if I were to be showrunner of Doctor Who episode? Today I'm going to talk about series 14. So alright, let's talk about my ideas for an awesome Doctor Who episode or show series season. Something like that. Anyway, let's go. Episode 1, The Dinosaurs from the Age of No Man. This episode begins when the Doctor is chilling a bit in the present time, so in London or wherever he's in, in Great Britain. But for some reason, something is different. Some dinosaurs keep appearing in the present. The Doc must find out what's going on. He travels to Gallifrey, which is his home planet, to look what happens to Earth, thanks to some fancy technology thing that could see, anomalies in time, right? So he sees someone's been messing with the time stream. He pinpoints the exact location where the anomaly happened and sees the Master was there. He corrects the thing and saves the day again, but it seems like the Master's also behind it too. Another anomaly happens in Venice, which is episode 2, called the Wild Waters of Venice. In Venice, during the Roman times, another anomaly happens. Now aliens are appearing through interdimensional rifts. Now the Doc needs to stop these aliens and clean up the mess. In episode 3, The World of the Angels, in some icy investigation facility, there's a group of people that survived a third ice age. But angels keep appearing outside. They get surrounded and they need to, stay inside. But this facility is not that big, there are maybe a few rooms, a bit of corridors, and it's a bit of a base, right? The Doctor lands in this facility and eventually befriends a person named Skylar. So, the world outside has been taken by the angels because, the person inside the base can't go outside, right? So it is pretty much the world of the angels. Get it? 'Cause it's an insane title, right? So yes, very interesting. Skylar gets introduced and she eventually joins the Doctor too. Episode 4, we're halfway there, is called The Gladiator of Ricks. A gladiator from Earth ended up on a sci-fi planet called Ricks. He has been chosen by aliens to fight the ultimate enemy, the Doctor. Another thing, the Doctor is here to help out the gladiator win, because then he can go home. But something is happening. The TARDIS has finally blended into the environment, and the Doc and the gladiator escape with Skylar. Then the chameleon circuit changes again by the Doctor. So, this episode is just about the gladiator transported to another homeworld, or like to another planet, right? And Doctor is just there. He's also fighting. Like, it's one of his adventures that you weren't able to see on screen, but there would be a continuation of that story that could be explained in comics or audio adventures, whatever. And eventually the Doc meets this gladiator and finds out that this gladiator belonged to Earth, and the Doctor needs to help him out. The TARDIS is transformed into something from the home world or something, and obviously it needs to be a hassle to find the TARDIS eventually. But then the chameleon circuits, breaks again or whatever, changes again to the normal TARDIS, and that isn't really necessary though, but I think it's a small little change that could be a difficulty for the Doctor to find the TARDIS eventually in this episode. Episode 5, The Adventure of the Cat. The Doc and Skylar and the gladiator end up in this past. Well, the future for the gladiator at least, where a criminal has been spotted. This criminal is actually Puss in Boots. What? But he's a Doctor Who cat alien. So that's very interesting. One of those cat people that you see in the episode 1 of series 2, right? So one of those nurses, right? But, Puss in Boots it's like a guy now, so there we go. So this alien needs to go back, but not before his owner finally falls in love with his princess. Just like the Puss in Boots fairy tale, the gladiator sacrifices himself. He was already misplaced in time, but the Doc borrows him in Roman times and sets the cat alien on the right place to his home world, because he can't stand in medieval times, right? Or can't stay in medieval times, right? Because that would abrupt the timeline, whatever. The Doc and Skylar continue exploring time and space. Episode 6 is the Battle of Babylon. The Doc and Skylar visit ancient Babylon because Skylar wanted to, where marauders and war chiefs try to invade the Library of Babylon to get more knowledge. These marauders are people who want to steal information about people to eventually bank item into an AI operated world. So these guys are from the future and could be, aliens, but let's just say they're from the future and they travel back in time and, they wanted to screw up the timeline. These marauders are the Marauders of Time, so that's their species name or like group name, the Marauders of Time. They steal stuff to eventually make their own virtual world. Okay, that's very interesting, right? Alright, episode 7, the House of Anubis. The Doc and Skylar travel to ancient Egypt to discover a gigantic hole in space-time above the pyramids. The Egyptian gods were the people who came out of the space-time hole. The Doc and Skylar find the house, which is the House of Anubis. Anubis tells them that they were sent by Sutek, which is an old Doctor Who villain. The Egyptian gods helped build the pyramids too. The hole starts closing, and the Doctor and Skylar go inside. The second last episode is Raj Revenge. This is episode 8. So this hole of space and time is closing. The Doc and Skylar need to find a way to go back to Egypt because they're stuck there because the hole has been closed. They sail from the afterlife to the grounds of Earth. So I guess they do it in reverse order. When Egyptian people or a person dies, they go to the afterlife. But now that the Doctor has his TARDIS, he can travel to this realm of the Egyptian gods. He can go to the afterlife, and with the afterlife, he can go back to Earth, which is kind of weird. But in some way or some form, there is a time paradox created where the Doctor is actually already dead and wakes up in a coffin, like one of those mummy coffins, right? Egyptian coffins, which is weird. Like, yes, I know it's weird, but whatever. It's Doctor Who. It's a pretty weird time paradox vortex thing. I don't know. So, just like a time vortex, so the Doc and Skylar must have been dead already, but they travel, like, yes, it's complicated, I know, but they use some kind of reverse order of entire thing that the original persons of Egypt would do. Like, they die, they go to the afterlife, and then they go, I don't know, explore the realms of the dead or whatever. But the Doctor is stuck in this Egyptian realm, and he can travel to the afterlife, like the awesome big as river or something with that boat. I guess that's the Egyptian culture, right? Or where they need to prove themselves to one of the gods with the heart and stuff like that, whatever. So yes, they go back to Earth, and so the Doc turns very Egyptian, and so does Skylar. So they kind of are already Egyptian people. Well, it's complicated, but it's really cool. So there we go. And thanks to the power of the Egyptian gods like pharaoh looking stuff like that, things like that, they get back to ancient Egypt and travel further in the universe. So yes, I know it's complicated, but it's really cool. And the last episode is the moon landing. In an alternate Earth, the moon landing happened on a Christmas day. That wasn't supposed to happen, was it? The Doc is the responsible one. He is his space-timey-wimey travels from Last Adventure caused a chain reaction in some events in the timeline. The Doc lands in NASA. When it happens, Skylar gets a side mission to catch Cybermets, or little worms made by the Cybermen, in the 1960s NASA building, and also the Doctor helps her out, obviously. This event has been changed, and in time which we'll see the Doctor for it. So, next season will be about the Doctor and a Gallifreyans. Alonzi! Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This took me a while to edit, actually. I think it took me 5 hours or something, but it's still fun. It's a bit different than the previous episodes that I did on what if I would be showrunner of Doctor Who. It's a bit more with sound effects and moving, pictures, stuff like that. Something that I tried out, something new. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't subscribed yet, go subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so why not click that subscribe button and like if you want to comment what you thought of this episode or video, and maybe you have some ideas for me about new Doctor Who episodes, or maybe you want to talk about Doctor Who itself. Doesn't matter, leave it in the comment section below if you want something to be shared with the world. And alright, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later. Alonzi, goodbye everyone.